Only machine gun fire will stop the pistol. Hello there everyone, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome to part 34 of our Snooker 19 Pro career with Neil Robertson, and today, and for the first time in a long while, I am pleasured to say that finally we are playing somebody different. And that somebody different comes in the form of the home favourite for this tournament, Mark Allen, of course, from Northern Ireland, and it's going to be a tough game. It's the quarterfinals. We beat John Higgins in the last 16 last time out, and have also beat Mark King, Ken Doherty, and Stephen Halworth to get here, as well, of course, as the Wizard of Wishaw. But the pistol is a completely different one, really. I haven't played the pistol yet on Snooker 19, so it'll be certainly interesting to see how we get on against Mark Allen. Whether we played the best against John Higgins, that was arguable, but we did get into some sort of rhythm after probably about the second or third frame. That's all you need. But it was another decider again, of course. And did it? I think it did come down to the black, if I remember rightly. No, we got to the pink and the black. We thought John was going to win it. And then John missed the pink, so then we potted the pink and black and won it. But it's alright. It's been a while since I recorded a video on this, so details a little bit flaky. But if you don't know, I've got my exams at the moment. So this is all being pre-recorded. It's been recorded on Sunday the 2nd, the day after Liverpool have won the Champions League final. So I'm a little bit giddy today, so we'll try and compose ourselves for this game, where being giddy and having adrenaline is exactly the opposite of what you want. Oh, that's going to hit the jaw, isn't it? That's okay, actually. We've got away with that, I think. Especially if it comes up by the yellow. Oh, just needs perhaps 1% more, because I think that red is seeable. Yep, it is. And Mark Allen might take the initiative and take the pots, as he does. Good start. So as I said on the last few videos, if there are a few days where for some reason I don't manage to get videos out, that'll affect, so it'll be, will it be Thursday this comes out? Yeah, the 6th of June, this will be Thursday that it comes out. So I've got my exams for another 6 days till next Wednesday, the 12th, so if there are any gaps in terms of the schedule, again, that my exams will explain why that's the case. So I hope that's understandable, but I'm trying my best in this week off I've got to try and record up to when is needed. But back onto the snooker, Mark Allen certainly had a good start here. It wasn't the best break from us, to be honest. We left that red, and from there, we've not seen the ball at all. And this is probably the strongest start that I've seen from a player in our whole Snooker 19 career mode. And possibly, with how he stayed on the black, we could be seeing a potential century here. I mean, I'm saying this to be a little bit cheeky, because when we tend to go and, you know, maraud the players and go, oh, this is fantastic, they tend to miss. And to be fair, he's lost position a little bit here. I don't know whether he can get to that red in the right, sort of like that forms a triangle with the two reds in the middle and the pink on the right-hand side of that triangle. Don't know if he can get through to that one, but he's certainly taking a long time to think about this shot. Of course, he's built up a decent break, so it's understandable he has a little bit of thinking time, but this is a little bit more than usual, so perhaps he's either got himself in a real sticky situation or just can't decide what to play.
Just wants to get the cue ball.
Yeah, he can get through to that red, but he's playing a safety, interestingly, so mustn't have been able to get the angle to get to the pot. But that's going to be a little bit annoying for Mark, and equally, he has left this red on. I do fancy this.
Pace is the key with this shot.
Might be a mistake, but it looks good. Oh, what a pot.
Who would have predicted that?
Fantastic.
Remarkable shot.
Unlucky there, really, because he tried to play that, you know, fairly nicely and cool, calm, collected. Any other words you associate there, but no, that was brilliant. And we're going to struggle a little bit for position here, I would probably say, unless we move a few reds. So let's just let this run, because I think if we let it run, we can get a decent safety. We'll play with a little bit of top, though. Hopefully we can get back down the table. This pot should be fairly conclusive.
No doubts about his power after that shot.
And I think possibly there might be a red on here. I've seen one anyway, which I like the look of. There's this one here, which I think will be fine, because it's not touching the other red, so yeah, this could certainly be a pot on. Not play it with too much power, though. That would be silly. That's another nice pot to add to our start here. Very good playing. It's unusual to say that, particularly in this career mode. Very good play from both players at the start of this match. I think it's probably unlucky that Mark Allen ran out of position than anything else. Gotta be careful though here. This isn't the
Pot's on,
easiest of
and he's
pots.
going for it.
Solid stuff.
Tremendous pot.
Oh, the pink's going to back on that spot, isn't it? I should have considered that. Are we going to get away with it? Oh, for goodness sake, Toby. Should have thought about that. Makes things a lot trickier now. Of course, it would have just been a straight pot, but it came to me straight away. I thought, oh, you idiot. So, we could play the safety, but I'm going to try and cut this into the middle. No, it's nowhere near, is it? Just a bit of greed there, unfortunately. Greed took over. So we give Mark Allen a chance, and I think he'll definitely try and take it based on what he's done so far.
1 8.
What a fabulous
Great pot into the middle.
Excellent positional play there. Inch perfect.
9 16.
Looks like he'll have this frame wrapped up pretty quickly. He's on fire here, the pistol.
17.
Rapid fire. I'm going to make as many puns as I can throughout. Like with the Wizard of Wishaw. It's too good a nickname not to make anything out of. But his finesse around the black has been fantastic, to be quite honest.
Not the best
He won't be able to get to that red though, so it might either be a double or a safety. It's going to be a safety here. And how many have we got left? So we need basically to clear everything. Reds and blacks. Just move this a little bit. Bit of an awkward pot this is, but I don't really think there's any point going for safety. Oh, we've missed it. Just moved it a little bit too much towards that jaw. And to be fair, I think Mark Allen deserves the frame the way he's played anyway, so it's going to be a little bit of a tricky cut, but it looks like he's got it sorted. And barring snookers, this is Mark Allen's frame. On fire, really. So far, very impressive. And apart from that one shot that he played, that he got a little bit out of position, and perhaps played a bit of a suspect safety of, oh, he's done fine.
Mark Allen.
Maybe you could argue that pot's a little bit dodgy. But we are going to concede the frame there.
Frame.
Again, we could have come back for a few snookers, but at that point I don't really see much point. So hopefully we can win the next frame. Would hate to lose this one and have to win the next three. That pressure's just unprecedented, and we've had to face that a lot, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone. We've come back from it a few times, of course. But anybody who says this is over would be wrong, because it's only the first frame gone. Gonna try and do we try and cut this in? It's a possibility, but I think we might just play the safety here. Just a thin safety off this red, and hopefully get back to the bulk.
Very important.
A little bit harder than ideal, but it should be okay. Now, there's always a gap. There is always a gap. And I wonder whether he can get to it. Yeah, he can. And he's potted it.
1
Our safety's a part of our game that's always needed a bit of work. I completely understand that.
Top of his game at the moment.
7.
But oh well, Mark Allen's taken every opportunity. And to be fair, he's playing these shots very nicely.
Nicely onto the colour.
No sort of finesse that he had in the last frame. He's just whacking the balls around. And to be honest, sometimes if you're having a good run and you're in the mood, that's something that's worth doing. Of course, a bit of danger if you're a little bit off with your accuracy, that can go to pot. But ooh, played that nice and soft, but it was
11.
a bad shot really. You do wonder if whether he played that on purpose, you know, because he certainly left himself safe. I'll just try and hit this off the cushion and get back to the bulk. I mean, it wasn't a bad attempt at a double. But we're back up bulk. That's quite nice, that red being there, because it does make things a little bit trickier. And we've reduced Mark Allen to a safety, which is quite nice. Oh, he's just about covered that off, and I don't think that this red goes past the other red, does it? No. So we did well, really, when we played our safety to make sure that red was covered off. I mean, the reds have moved around a little bit more now, so might be a bit more chance for Mark. And that's come a little bit further down than I was hoping. We've got no cover from the bulk. Just got to hope that all these reds
This is a half chance.
cover one another. But there's certainly a chance there, and he's missed it. Well, too hard that was. I was saying, well, if you're in form and you fancy it, it's worth going for those harder shots. But I can't believe that he's now managed to cover pretty much everything off that pocket.
Really doesn't want to
I wonder if that one goes. Does that one go? Ooh, not quite, I don't think. Looking down here, might just tap the one red. So he's very lucky, I would say here, not to leave anything on. I mean, there's a very tight possibility of potentially getting to that one. It's tight though, and I don't really want to risk it. Oh, well, the problem is, what's the upshot though here? What do you play? Possibly play that one as a bit of a shot to nothing. I didn't see that one before.
Well, it goes.
Try that as a bit of a shot to nothing. We might as well go for the pot.
Brilliant.
And it's there.
Simply brilliant.
So from thinking we didn't have anything, we've got a nice pot there. And I think we can probably cut this black. It's not a nasty angle particularly. And this would give a good chance
Not an easy one, but
to
a
build.
hard chance.
And it's there.
What a wonderful
Moved one or two reds around for the record. And that now opens up a pot.
8.
Really, if you couldn't get a pot before because all the reds were interrupting one another, you've got to move them all around. You're not going to get any sort of position if you don't move them round. Too hard, you'd probably say there. But luckily, the brown's in a decent position now. We've given it a tap, and sometimes it certainly doesn't help. It certainly doesn't hurt even to take a bulk colour.
Can't see any problems here.
Solid pot.
13.
Now I probably fancy. Can we get to this red? Possibly, but I don't really fancy it. I think this one's probably the better choice.
He's aiming for the left corner here.
Just tweak it a little bit. That's a nice pot. Where's the cue ball? Oh, goodness me, we've gone in off.
Neil Robertson.
Well, we don't do that very often, but
Mark out.
this occasion we have. And even though we haven't played too badly here,
Tricky pot.
we've made one or two mistakes. And to be fair, in these first two frames so far, Alan has capitalised. But, ooh, that was a bit of a nasty one. And you do wonder, sometimes whether the AI miss for a reason. Because it's not very often when they miss and they leave everything open.
With this shot.
Oh, I mean, that was just a mistake. That was too quick and probably too hard for the middle pocket. It's just greed, that is, sometimes.
Not what he intended at all. That's a poor shot.
And potentially we've lost our bottle a little bit here. We just need to calm down. Because if we're not careful, Mark will run away with this, as he did in the first frame. Tricky blue, but I think he'll have it. No, nowhere near. Wow.
Mark Allen. 1.
Mark certainly made his mistakes as well as us. I think we can get a plant here. I think it should be fine. Oh, bloody hell. And we're going to pop the cue ball again. Oh, my God. We've done... all I could compare this to
Allen. 4.
is when Bingham played Dot in the Championship this year, the first round, and Bingham was 9-1 up. And Bingham just completely lost his bottle. I know we're not ahead here, but I feel like we've just lost our bottle completely.
1.
And we need to just compose ourselves.
So,
Take a little bit more time over shots. But of course, Mark Allen pretty much won it in one visit last frame. And it's all well and good saying, well, you need to compose yourself for the next time. But at the end of the day, that could have been our last shot and we could be 2-0 down. The player model of Mark's pretty good here. Now, I don't know how he's missed that. That's crazy. That is bonkers.
8.
But as I said, the player model's quite good of Mark Allen. It's quite nice. I just can't believe he missed that red. I mean, that was, 999 times out of 1,000 you would have potted that.
not an easy one, but a half chance.
We just needed that bit of power to get it back down the table. Be nice if we tapped one or two of these reds here to make an opening. Now, if we would possibly have made an opening.
6.
Which I don't think we would have had before, so that's nice.
We'll be looking
Tight
to
one,
get
but
back
it
in
should
front
go.
here.
Great pot.
7.
Not quite with the pink. Blue's fanciable. With what we're missing at the moment, I'm a little bit reluctant to play that. No, I'm missing some sitters at the moment, so I'm a little bit reluctant to play that.
This into the right
Would
corner
rather
here.
play this green. Ooh, that wasn't the closest, but come on, if this keeps coming, we've got a decent position. Yep, that'll do. Good stuff.
10.
Very simple red that Alan missed. I was very shocked that he'd missed that.
Good chance to get a foot in the door here.
Yep, as Fold says, chance to get your foot through the door, and that's quite right.
11.
Bang on from Neil.
Needs to take this chance.
Ooh, not so much screw back, and that'll harm our position quite a bit. Yeah. I don't know, that red doesn't go past the pink, so no option for middle. Is it just safety time? Perhaps. Perhaps. Might be a bit hard, we might get away with it, who knows. That doesn't look bad to me. And all reds are fairly either close to the middle of the table or to the cushion, so we have covered that off quite nicely. Actually, there's that one pot, I didn't see that. Is he going to get it? He is. Well, that's a brilliant pot from Mark Allen, but he's not quite got so lucky with the position on the black. It's going to be a bulk colour, and well, that was very close with the green, but he's got the pot.
4.
But, yeah, he can get that red next to the pink, I'm fairly sure.
He's aiming for the left corner here.
Oh, no, he's going for this one. It's a little bit tighter. A lot tighter, in fact, but he's got it.
Shot. Well played.
And the black's now potable. A little bit of a tight angle. Wouldn't be one I would be too optimistic to take on, but he's took it on and potted it. Clearly that red's not seeable by the pink, because that would have been the obvious option for both
Oh, that's right out of the
of these shots, but he'll go for this black. The score's a lot tighter here, so if Mark misses in the next few balls, we can definitely get back in the frame.
He'll be disappointed with
Well,
that shot.
could he cut this red? And I think the pink might cover it. Yeah, he's gone for a safety, and to be fair, it's not a bad one at all. We'll try and get the red close to the black, ideally. That's gone way too far, but we should be okay. Oh, I'm not liking the way this is hanging over the pocket. I'm really not liking the way... that yellow's not going to cover anything either. That was a
Not an
poor
easy
safety
one,
if
but
you've ever seen one.
1.
That's a good pot on the green. And I think, well, this frame's definitely going to slip away. And I just feel, with the way that Mark... Oh, well.
Mark Allen, 6.
Ooh. Don't count your chickens just yet.
Not an easy safety, this.
We're still in this frame. We need to clean up, but we're still in it.
Excellent safety. This looks to be a pretty simple safety here.
Oh, he's not quite got the snooker. He's going to be gutted about that. He was close. He was really close, but he hasn't quite got the snooker. Can we clear up from here? Oh, we'll hit the brown. That's not good. That's right up against the cushion. Bounce off, bounce off. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, then we're going to have the same battle with the brown, unfortunately. And hopefully this doesn't bounce too much. Oh, no, it's pretty much touching there, so no angle there for anything.
Robertson, 3.
Not quite touching ball yet, amazingly.
Pace is key, and he certainly doesn't want
And
to
it is
overhit
touching
this.
ball now.
He's played that very
Where's he
well.
going with the cue ball? Where's he going here?
Touching
Going
ball.
very close to the pocket. To be fair, he's done well out of that. Fair play. Hopefully this reaches. Oh, it's not going to be well. Oh. Bottoms. That was really poor. It's just the chance you take. We could have just nicked it off that brown, to be fair, but it'd have to be pretty hard to get it back down the table. Surely he can get this to the bottom right. Surely. Or the bottom left, as he'll see it when he's queuing. Sometimes it's just not your day. And it's clearly not been ours so far. And he's got the brown. Simple pot on the blue. And that'll be frame 2 to Mark Allen. So it's going to be a long way back from here. Perhaps the length of the video will determine whether we make that comeback or not. Which is the only unfortunate thing with YouTube. That's the nice thing with a premiere. You don't know how long the video's going to be.
Well played.
But oh well. This could be the last frame. It could be the start of a comeback.
And this will be worrying.
That's the beauty of snooker.
Thank you.
I'm going to play this a little bit harder and a little bit thicker.
Robertson to break.
Danger with playing it thick though is that the ball doesn't travel so much. We probably needed a few more percent on that, but I think we have covered that red because of the blue, but there is always a gap. No, there's not that time. Oh, where's the cue ball? Where's the cue ball? Oh, talk about getting away with it. Blimey hell. And I think, no, he's not got away with it here. That's certainly nice to see for once.
He's going for it.
Should be fine to me.
Close.
Oh, bloody hell. Should have just tapped that. Goodness me. I just think sometimes it's not your day. I've said this a few times this episode, but 99 times out of 100, we'd have probably knocked that in. Oh, well, he's missed the blue. That's an absolute howler, that is. Right, we'll definitely pot this time. If we don't pot this, we ought to just concede the frame, like Mark did in the Grand Prix against Ali Carter earlier on in the season. With what? I think there's about 13 reds left. Deary me, imagine that. Sorry, no, I'm not playing on. Bit unsportsmanlike, it has to be said.
Not ideal.
4.
No, not ideal position. I don't quite think this red passes to go to the pocket, unfortunately. No, it doesn't. So again, that's a stinker.
He'll be mindful of pace here. He really doesn't want to overhit this.
Yeah. Okay, Hendon. Nice and thin. Probably as thin as possible. And the closest this is to the cushion, the better. And this is going to be right on the cushion. Beautiful.
That's an excellent shot.
Neil Robertson, 4.
He's playing the
Going to go right into the reds here, I think.
ball tight against the cushion.
Where's the cue ball this time? Is he going to get away with it this time or not? Oh, he's played with fire there again. And unbelievably, again. He's safe, I think.
Ball in a great position.
Cue ball's in a great position. I presume it means for safety, but certainly not for a pot.
Tricky safety coming up.
Tricky safety. Just gonna have to be careful we don't hit that red on the cushion. That's fine. A few reds come out of that, and hopefully this pulls up. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. I think we should still be okay because you've got other reds that are further, well, nearer the bulk that are covering others. But this one looks tasty, but he's just going for the safety here. And he's not really got away with that. Oh, he has. I thought he hadn't, but he has. He really has. And he has on that one as well, just. Look at that, how close that is. That's heartbreaking. Well, it's life, innit? That's just life. C'est la vie. Off 2 cushions. This is travelling a little bit too fast for my liking. Oh, wrong side of the table as well. But I think actually we are still fine. Unless that red that's close to the black on the right hand side of it will just go. And I think it might do now.
He'll be conscious of
No.
overhitting this.
Safety again. I'll tell you what, if somebody gets a pot here, and I think we might be able to now. Get in. Right, that should be fine. If somebody gets a pot, they have got, well, they've got cracking position on some of these reds.
It's half a chance, but a chance nonetheless.
And it's there. Where's the cue ball? We're okay.
Yes, he'll be very pleased with that shot. What can he do?
Yeah, it's going to be quite easy to break up these reds, really.
He'll want this to drop into the centre pocket.
Unless we make some silly mistakes.
What a wonderful
The table's at our grasp.
7.
Because it's, you know, it's easy to screw back from these positions. That being said, it's not on that occasion. Pull up under. Possibly the black might go. Not quite, though, I don't think. Too close to that red to go. It might go, but I don't think it's worth risking it, personally. Now, we've got a little bit of trouble here because the Let's just try this. No, it's not going to go, is it? No, it's too close. Yeah, I've got a little bit of trouble here up bulk because we're either going to have to play this very carefully into that pocket. The yellow, there's no position for the yellow. That's a stinker.
He's got to be careful not to.
So it's going to have to be this green. And it's going to definitely have to be the shot of the tournament from us to get this in the pocket. I mean, it was, you know, it was there pretty much. It was close, very close, but not quite there.
Neil Robertson, 8.
And that does let Mark Allen in now, but he's going for a safety once again. Probably being 2 frames up, he's thinking, I don't want my opponent to get in, which is absolutely fair enough. And that red doesn't quite go, that's why he didn't go for that. I did question that a little bit. We'll go for this red, try and just play it like that. Oh, not quite. But it's up at bulk, and I think it's covered once again. Amazing frame this is really, with how the reds are situated.
Looks pretty safe here.
Mark Allen with only 1 pot so far. Oh, he's going to play a plant. Oh, what a plant that was.
1.
Fantastic. Credit to him there. And he'll take the green.
4.
But he's lost position. Unless he goes for this one on the cushion, which I am not a fan of in this game. But he's gone for it.
Very well.
Pink possibly now. The bulk colours, including the blue that's now there, is very tricky. Red closest will be fine.
That's a top shot.
Pink.
11, 12, 18.
Red again. This could have been our table, but just a little bit soft on one shot and it knackers your position. Now it's going to take a good pot from him to get the green and he's missed it. But can you blame him? Not too much.
No, not the
But they're
result
applauding him.
for.
Mark Allen,
Ooh, that's going straight to the pocket. I'm a little bit uncomfortable with that. But what's the upshot here? Let's try and play it
Attempting to get the white tight on the cushion.
quite thick. This might not be bad. Needs to pull up though. It doesn't. And that just frees up 1 or 2 reds because the black was holding them hostage
Went
almost.
for the snooker and it hasn't really worked out.
Can he take advantage?
To the right corner.
Absolutely. But pink and black are off because of, well, one's blocking the other. And he's missed the pit. He's missed the green. Way too hard that was.
1.
He's done an us there.
He's playing for the right corner here. Down it goes.
Cracking. Now we can get to the black.
1.
And because there's just been odd reds potted so far, it means nobody's been able to build up a break.
Corner pocket.
But luckily, after this... oh, don't hit the green, don't hit the green, or don't go in the pocket even. This is going to go in the pocket.
There was always a risk of a foul there.
Well, time to compose myself. I've got a cup of tea waiting downstairs.
Mark Allen,
Yeah.
Let's take a sip of tea. Let's get a bit composed and make sure we fight back. Luckily, Mark's not took anything from that, but goodness me, that was annoying because we lost, of course, the 7 points that we'd have got through the pot and gave them to Mark. So in effect, it was a 14-point turnaround that was, which is very annoying after potting, I think, a fairly decent black. But that's the penalty you pay for just playing it that 1% too hard and potting the cue ball.
What a tremendous pot.
7.
I really don't really want any screw back here, actually.
This is a real
Well,
opportunity
in terms of
to
actually bringing the
this
ball
frame.
back. Hopefully this plays nicely onto the pink again. And it does. There's only a few reds left in a very close frame and a very odd one. Definitely been a very odd one.
He's lining this one up to the middle pocket.
So the table's completely open for whoever wants to dominate it now.
What a top shot that is.
14.
And if we bring it back to 2-1,
Great opportunity to get back into the match.
things start to become a little bit nicer. And we've opened up that black to the middle.
15.
And to be fair, if we can screw back directly where we are now, that wouldn't be bad. Or equally tap the pink.
To drop into the centre pocket.
Yeah, that's nice.
Wonderful pot.
And funnily enough, the cue balls ended up on exactly the pink spot. Probably gone a little bit, well, way too far, but oh well, pink's still in a comfortable position. It's just about this red that's close to the cushion,
23.
which might be a little bit of an issue. Focus on the pot though,
He's playing for the right
and we can
foot
work
there.
out the position afterwards.
That's a great pot.
I mean, to be fair, we've done about as well as we possibly could have done there.
29.
This looks pretty simple.
Good stuff, and the pink's on here. And then we're back down to the colours. So it might be the green we take here for position on the yellow. Bearing in mind this is quite a close match, so
Not an easy one.
in
but
terms of the
a hard
frame.
choice.
So we want to make sure we maximise as well as much of the colours as we can. Hopefully this doesn't run too far.
Cue ball is finished very nicely.
Yeah, nice position there. Ideal that was.
Just the colours remaining.
Hopefully this screws back nicely for the green.
He's on the green.
20 ahead with 25 remaining, so it's just the green and the, well, 20 ahead with 25, we'll go 22 ahead with 23, so it'll just be the brown. But I don't think this brown goes, to be honest. So it might have to be a safety unless we can just try and command some sort of position, but it's going to be very tough. Have to play it like that almost, and yet again we don't really get any sort of positions. We might as well just play it like this and just hope for the best, to be honest.
So, just this green required.
Oh, it's just the green needed, so that's fine. It does go this side.
And that,
Of course, would be what, 22 ahead with
in this frame.
22 remaining, wouldn't it? No, 23 ahead with 22 remaining. God, my maths is rubbish. Of course, the green's worth 3, you wally. Well, it's a business exam I'm sitting tomorrow. Let's hope I don't bugger up the calculations like that. Luckily, I don't think any of them would be. What's a green worth on a snooker table?
He's looking to pop this in.
I think there might be a bit of a cheeky complaint sent to the exam board in that case.
No problem there.
But it'd be nice to clear up here. And maybe, just maybe, we could have a comeback that's on here.
He's attempting to sink this into the left
And
corner.
I think clearing up here would just send that message to Mark.
That's an excellent pot.
Not the best on the black, but it's still cuttable into the middle.
53.
Well, it's a little bit less than I possibly thought it might have been. We'll go for it though. Again, if it doesn't go in, it doesn't make a difference. Now a little bit off, we just overcompensated there, but it doesn't really matter. And we win the frame after potting that. After potting the cue ball, we never really look back.
Well played.
And with a break of 53, we make sure it's not a whitewash from Mark.
To break.
Anybody questioning that this game's too easy ought to watch games like matches like this. I mean, that's a cracking break off from Mark. I have to say, and I don't really think we played that well that day, so I don't really think we can say that necessarily. But I think
Just wants to ensure he gets
Mark Allen's probably been the best player we've faced so far. Higgins has always been a bit off, and possibly Trump, you could say, possibly. But I think we've probably been a little bit off colour against Trump. I think here we haven't really made that many mistakes. Okay, like here we've let Mark Allen in, and that's something that just happens sometimes, even though he's missed that.
not quite close enough.
But generally, he's played very well so far. And it's nice to have that challenge. Be boring if you were playing against players who were just too easy. And that's why I get people's gripes, but I don't think it is too easy.
1.
Certainly not anybody knocking in 147s every break. Of players I'm watching anyway. We haven't even got a century yet.
8.
Be nice if that comes sooner rather than later, but we're not begging for anything. Had to hit that quite hard because we would have just been nestled up in the reds else. That's pretty nice on the pink.
9.
So the only problem at the start of a frame. That's what I used to find really tricky when I first started playing these snooker games, is trying to break up the reds, but pot the red and stay on the table and make sure it's not your opponent who benefits.
Played it well.
And it's a very tricky skill to learn, and sometimes I think it's all about luck. Well, not all about luck, possibly, but certainly something of it is about luck. You can play the best snooker in the world, but just be a bit unfortunate.
16.
Now we could be greedy here and try and open up the reds, but there's no point because the risk of missing the black's too high for us to do that. I mean, we middled it on that occasion, but again, if we were slightly off
22.
and we'd have whacked it, it could have just gone off the cushion. It would have been bye-bye to that break. But it's weird, it sometimes takes us a few frames to get into games.
24.
Same against Higgins. You know, we've pulled off a few 3-2s against John now. After being 2-0 back as well. And there's just something about it that seems a little bit odd. I have to try and cut this, and I think we will go for it. Again, we don't really leave too much if we don't get this. Ooh. See, I thought I'd overdone that, but in fact we
Neil
hadn't.
Robertson, 31.
A half decent break. Didn't open up the red, so I haven't helped Mark that much, and ooh, that's a nasty shot. Can't get anywhere, unfortunately. He's going for the yellow, must be. And ho 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 ho. Well, you jammy git.
Mark Allen, 1.
Well. Gonna try and get out of this.
I think he's looking
Can't
for
believe how
another
jammy he's been there.
escape here.
Well, we've just played that a bit awkwardly. We were too close to the middle pocket probably to get out of that, but I think he'll probably play on from here. Possibly, because he can cut this red, but he might get us to
Foul and a miss. Mark Allen, 4.
do ourselves. But now he's playing on, and he's potted the red. Ooh, black a little bit tricky to cut.
To pop this into the
So it's a
right
bulk
corner.
colour. But it's going to be one of those close frames again, I feel. 9 reds left. And funnily enough, he's snookered himself now. And well, that's a
Allen, 4.
stinker all round from Mark. But to be honest, like they all seem to do, he's got away with it. I find that quite staggering.
The success of this shot is reliant on perfect pace.
Oh, bloody hell. Again, that's just a classic case for us not taking enough time over our shots.
Well,
Still 22 ahead though, which is a decent margin, but that can go very quickly. Now probably 3 reds. And there's how many left now? 8. So this could very much swing either way. There's still 99 remaining on the table, so
Well, he's taking it on. to
still
the left
plenty.
corner.
99
7.
before that last red. That's a good red.
8.
Just feel apart from he's lost a little bit in these 2 frames, and he should be going for a safety here, because as I say, I don't think he'd have got anything
Allen, 8.
or any hope of potting that. Can we get to this red? We certainly can, just about.
He's looking to play safe here.
I don't think this is playing safe, Dave. I know you haven't got much experience picking up a cue, but not much safety there. I think he's playing safe. No. No, Dave, you're wrong.
Well, no surprises here with the long pot attempt.
Great pot.
we know he's
Just
left
travelled a little bit too far for my liking, unless it bounces off the cushion. But we have got a few options. We've got the cut on this red, which I'm not really too bothered about, to be honest, because the black's not here. Just play a straight one on this red.
This is really tricky.
Hopefully that doesn't travel too much.
He'll be very happy with
Well, 2% harder, it would have gone straight in.
Just wants to sink this into the left corner pocket.
Good stuff. I know we've not really left anything on, but it's always a little bit tricky. We'll go for this red. They're certainly fanciable, these are.
No problems with
There
the
you
rest
go,
there.
middled it.
Well played.
Just get a little bit luckier position now, hopefully. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Yes.
15.
Blue and then come back down the table. We'll hit those 2 reds while we're at it.
This requires good cueing.
That'll do. Oh, where's the cue ball? Oh, for crying out loud. We've done that 3 times now today, gone in off.
15. Mark Allen, 5.
But I think we've got immensely lucky. Okay, there's the red on the cushion, which I never fancy, but he'll probably pot.
1.
But those other 3 reds are in a little bit of an awkward position, but it'll get to this one. Depending on his position, of course. Quite unbelievable that was. Just trying to play the positional shot, and sometimes it's ironic, but it's better to focus on the pot.
7.
But this by no means over. We've still got the lead.
Oh, so close.
And there you go.
You needed some
That's a bit of a banzai shot. Okay, might have gone for the double,
Mark Allen,
but equally gives us nice position. So thank you very much, Mark.
He's attempting to sink this into the left corner pocket.
Just the 1 red left now.
1.
Question is, what do we play here? Green. We've got to get immensely good position to get anything on this red in terms of a pot. So we're just going to have to... Well, we've missed the pot.
But he's missed it. That'll annoy him.
Luckily, though, this needs to run. Yeah, luckily, though, we weren't going to get anything on the red.
Robertson, 1.
That's a little bit of a saving grace. Could go for a double. Or equally just try there.
He's playing the safety here.
Touching ball now. Let's just get this onto the cushion.
Foul and a miss. Mark Allen,
Oh,
4.
honestly.
Free ball.
Oh, I should have bloody listened. Free ball. But hang on, I don't really get that. Oh, what? Was it not touching ball? I'm sure it was. I'm sure it's... I must have been going mad. I'm sure that said touching ball. Yet they've put it back to a position when it wasn't. I wouldn't have played it up to the cushion if it wasn't touching ball.
Not a straightforward safety.
Odd ordeal there. I'm sure you guys in the comments will let me know what went on there.
Continues.
The effects of having the ability to play this all over again probably helps. But he's shifted the pink. And we're just going to try and get this away. I don't quite think this does go into the pocket, so we're okay.
This safety would be a test of his skills.
Ooh, where's the red going to go? We should be okay. That's pretty much perfect how we've got away with that. Amazing.
Nicely played. Pace is key here.
Hit and hope almost. That was the cue ball's gone in. Well, it's nowhere on the table, so unless it's disappeared, it's gone in. And we're going to force him to continue here because Mark Allen snookered himself.
He'll have to be very careful.
Is there just a gap? There is. Just a gap. That's all you need, just a gap. Have we got the gap? No. So, he's piddled on our bonfire a little bit here. Didn't quite realise that, I must admit. We can probably swerve it round, which we can. Well, we can get for a pot here, but this is going to be quite tricky. Oh, I thought we might have just touched the green to potentially put it on for a double. That's a bit of a tight one. He'll get to it.
It's not easy, but
Wasn't bad to get out the snooker, but yeah, he can get a pot here. I mean, he's going for... Don't quite think he was going for the pot there. Has he got the snooker again? Might well have done.
That's beautifully judged.
Oh, look how close we were to hitting that red. But it won't matter because he's going to play on from there. At least I would think.
He'll be
And he's now
disappointed
14
with that
behind with
shot.
35 remaining.
Foul on the
This
ball.
frame's still wide open.
4. 1.
And me going on earlier about, well, this quality's been fantastic. This frame, it's been whoever makes the least mistakes.
Great pot.
4. 6.
Is Mark Allen going to clear up here? Ooh. No way has he got another snooker. No, he hasn't. Well, we're going to go for this pot.
He's taking this green on.
Good pot. Now.
3.
Requires a very skillful black down to the bottom. Gonna go for it, of course.
Long pot. Right up his street.
Oh no!
Not this time.
Ho
Close,
ho
but
ho
a miss
ho! Oh, that's desperate.
3.
Gonna have to get the brown, the blue, and the pink. Oh ho ho! Well, he's played the safety on the blue. Where's the cue ball? Oh, he's potted the cue ball. Well,
Allen 4.
would you believe it? Now,
Well, let's see what he chooses to do.
yeah, I'm gonna play on.
He's going to play on here.
Would you believe that? We'd missed the brown.
This, it could end badly.
We thought that he'd pot it and pretty much end this off. But now we've got a chance.
Great shot.
12 behind with 18 remaining, so if he clears these up, he will have to
I think he's playing safe here.
pot the black. Gonna play safe and get it as far down the table as possible. And this looks pretty nice. I'll take that. Certainly no way you can cut that in from there. I think he's got the snooker again. He's liking playing these snookers. He knows we ain't getting out of them. If he's being honest. Though, I mean, we're not that far away from getting out from the cheeky swerve. Oh, look how close that is. Hang on. We did get a cut on that there. Oh, look how close this is. Just the margin's going to have to play with. So it's going to have to be at 50%.
Opportunity for his opponent here.
No, too soft. And it's all about the fine margins when you hit the swerve shot. And this now, because of the points deficit, it won't go down to the black. Of course, 7 points. Massive, that is. And he just needs the blue and the pink.
Mark Allen 7.
No, he doesn't actually. No, it will come down to the black still.
No,
He's missed the
not
blue.
quite. Pretty close though, but that won't provide any sense.
Goodness me. Well. I'm not going to say any more permutations, so I'm just going to... well, I'm not... Goodness me, this is a nasty one for the frame.
5.
Pace is very important here, and he doesn't want to underhit this.
Gonna have to be lucky. Gonna have to be very lucky. We're not gonna be lucky. Just couldn't think of anything to play. I didn't want to play the pot, and that might be stupid.
Neil Robertson 5.
2 balls. Mark Allen wins. Just panicked a little bit there. But to be fair, from potting this pink, I'm going to see how he gets position. It's going to be backspin. It has to be. But he's missed the pink. Oh my god. He leaves a very tricky angle. But hopefully we can pot it. We'll hit it as soft as possible.
Plenty of risk in this shot. No, not this time. Close, but a miss.
Oh. And then he'll pot this. But it's all about position for the black. And we'll know as soon as he pots this whether he's going to get position on the black. He's played it soft.
6.
He could get this black.
Mind for the pace here.
And fair play to him if he does.
Doesn't want to overhit this.
Now he's gone for the safety. What's the safety like?
Mark Allen 6.
Half decent. It comes down to the black, as it so often
Pace
does.
is key here.
We're ahead coming to the black. It's getting tense. And that's about as close to the cushion as possible.
He'll be aware of the
If we pot it, it goes down to a decider.
with too much pace.
If it's Mark who pots it, Mark Allen wins the match. How possibly more dramatic could this get?
He needs to be wary of underhitting this.
Oh, we're going to unhit it. We're going to underhit it. No, no, no. Come on, get there, get there, get there. Oh, it's fine. No, it's not. Mark's going to get the pot.
He really doesn't want to overhit this.
No, he's not. Oh, he's left that on. Right. It's a trickier one than I first thought, to be honest. Okay, we're going to have to play it. We're just going to have to play it.
He could be in trouble.
And just play a little bit harder so we can get back up the table if we miss it. Oh, no way. Oh, that's gutting. Mark's definitely going to pot this. It's straight.
Just this pot required to win the frame.
He's missed it! Oh my god. How can you miss that? I mean, I know pressure and everything, but goodness me. Mark Allen misses it. We're finally going to take the opportunity and pot it. And from despair a few times there, Mark Allen's going to be kicking himself because we're going to take this to a decider. We love our deciders, don't we? Goodness me, how have we done this again? Look, whatever you want to call it. Wow. Quite unbelievable. Oh, don't come off the jaw. Oh, goodness me. Not the best way to start unless this blue saves us. No, it's not going to. 147 left, so we're fine. In fact, we have got the snooker. Oh, they're good at getting out of these snookers, the AI, aren't they? Blimey. They really are. Really annoys you as well. Hang on, so from where the red is there anything potable? Just thinking we might be able to play to that red. No, I don't think there is there? No, I don't think there is, unless we hit it awkwardly and leave on the other red.
Doesn't want to overhit this.
As thin as possible on the red, down to the bottom cushion. That's the aim. That will do.
He'll be aware of the risks associated with playing this with too much pace.
Blimey, he has played back with pace and he's going to just cannon the green and the blue potentially into reds. Has he got away with it? No, he hasn't.
That's a shocker.
That's a shocker.
Corner here.
Bet Fold's never played any of them in his career.
One.
He's always solid with our Neil. Again, could go for the black, but not fancying it.
Pace is key with this shot.
Brown's a lot trickier than it seems. But middled it. Brilliant.
Wow.
Where's the cue ball?
What that was.
That's
That'll
great
do.
table control. Excellent position.
5.
We've not been good at these cuts this frame. Well, this match, not necessarily this frame, this match. That's there. It's a few reds on the way through for effect. Is the pink achievable here? In fact, there's a straight road through to the blue, so we'll take that. Can we come back again from 2-0 down
11.
to win 3-2? There's a hell of a long road yet, but goodness me if we do it well.
Looking for the pot into the right middle.
That's solid.
12.
This is tricky, but not unachievable.
It's half a chance, but a chance nonetheless.
No, no. Oh, bloody hell. Tricky that was.
Neil Robertson, 12.
Well, he's taking it.
And the position would have been half decent. And that's still not Mark Allen's
Really
first pot of the frame.
Not quite close enough.
Not really anything going here. That won't quite go through. Safety it is then.
He won't want to underhit this shot.
Trying to get it as close to the yellow. And unfortunately, just 1% or 2% too hard.
This is
And it's
not
ran on a bit more than I thought. And there we go. Finally, Mark Allen gets a pot. Great black. I never fancy those. They're tricky on this game. That's a nice red.
9.
Black again, I would say. It's going to be close this frame, I feel. Great pot.
16. 24.
It's looking good.
25.
Won't be the black this time, but he'll certainly take the yellow. Well, what's he done there?
25.
Possibly a safety, I'm not so sure.
One, but a half chance.
Wasn't really much of a safety there, I have to say.
1.
Black won't be able to go on its spot because of this red, I don't think. No. Has to go on the pink spot, which is nice. Very nice pot.
9.
Few percent harder. Black would have been potable. Take the yellow though. Admittedly not the best positional shot whatsoever, but
should be straightforward enough.
we'll take it for just a safety.
Well, I think
Not
he's
quite
lost
reacted the
position.
way I hoped it would, that, to be honest.
11.
Could have snookered ourselves here. Not quite, but it was fairly close. But if we play a good safety, this just means that we've got some positive vibes coming through. Because we should be okay. If we leave anything here, goodness me, we've been unlucky.
Excellent safety shot.
Neil Robertson, 11.
He's looking to get the cue ball safe and tight to the cushion here.
Oh, he very nearly hit the blue there. Interesting choice of shot there. Hopefully a good safety. Come on, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. It's pretty much on the line with the yellow.
He'll be
There's a
playing
cuttable
safe
pot here, but ooh, not quite the one I thought he might go for. Is it there? It's soft, so he should suggest it, but the white's going to follow! Well, Mark.
Neil Robertson, 4.
Mark Allen.
Play on
Whoopsie daisy. Whoopsie daisy indeed. Take up our
So,
opportunity
this
now.
pot into the right corner.
Solid.
Beautiful.
Wonderful
Oh, he's
shot.
going to be gutted about that. The beginning of the end? I
1.
don't want to jinx anything. But sometimes there is just a change in tide. Sometimes there's always a bit of a change in tide, and it does make you wonder sometimes. This blue's a little bit tricky again.
He's aiming for the left corner here.
Middled it though.
And in it goes.
And the aim was to get a good position on this red, and I think it's fair to say we have. Trying to get some sort of hit on these reds, but it's not going to happen really. But hopefully the black will get to the middle now.
7.
Yeah. Tap one of these reds and hopefully just play a safety next up. No, it's going to be no more than that.
That could be better.
14.
He looks like he's trying to get the cue ball tight.
Very cagey decider here. Oh, that might be the best shot. Luckily though, it's going to be a bit of a trickier cut, so
Neil
this should
Robertson,
be okay.
14.
He doesn't want to play this with too much pace.
Oh, he's played that very powerfully. And he's left a red on. Albeit again a tricky one.
He needs to be careful of not overhitting this.
But it's there. Brilliant.
What a shot he's pulled out the bag there. No more than a half chance.
Position is very good here.
Now the pressure's
Played
on,
that
goodness
very
me.
well.
1.
Again, it's not really about big breaks here.
6.
Although, they're touching these. Now it's worth going for, I think, than this.
Tempted by this red.
Yeah, it's a tempter, definitely. And it's there!
Absolutely fabulous.
What a pot.
Position looks pretty good to me.
Now, if we take the green here,
7.
maybe even the black. No, oh, the green's a little bit of an awkward angle, to be fair. What could we take to get nicely on this red? It's going to have to be the black, hasn't it, really? Hopefully come off the cushion and come back the other side. Most important thing though there was getting the black. Oh, too much probably. Way too much. So makes this a much tighter pot than planned. But achievable at the same time.
Important pot here.
Oh, it's all about luck here. It's dropped. Well, on some occasions that wouldn't have dropped.
Effectively remove any ideas the opponent may have of a comeback.
And here, well, we've secured the frame without snookers if we get this pot now. And unless there's a snooker, and I'm not going to talk too soon because this happened in a match against Judd Trump, the final for goodness sake, in a decider. So I'm going to shut up, but yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I think that's fair enough at this moment. We've got plenty of time post-match, whatever the outcome, to discuss it.
20.
Well, he's looking at potting this into the right corner pocket. Nicely done.
23.
Let's be honest though now, it's got to be all over. 18 left on the table. 33, 43 even ahead. We're not even bothered about clearing up here, just going to give this a good almighty whack. What a pot. And again, we're on the right side of a 3-2. 2-0 down. A little bit like the Higgins match. No real hope, to be honest, of getting through. And then, all of a sudden, the tide changes. We win 2 frames. It comes down to just a best of one, a 1-frame shootout.
And match Neil Robertson.
And somehow, sometimes, we just manage to pull it off. And, crazily there, with a 20 break, 30 break, we knock out the home favourite and are through to our 3rd successive semi-final after, let's be fair, not having a cat and owls chance. Especially after saying, well, you'll have to have a look at the video length. I don't think the video length will necessarily say it come down to a decider, because those are pretty quick frames there. And again, we're playing someone different. Isn't this nice? In the semi-final of the Northern Ireland Open, we've got Ding Junhui. A little bit of an unexpected opponent, to be fair, for this stage in the competition. What's our winnings? It's not the best winnings, to be honest. 20,000 so far, but we are playing Ding next. And that therefore suggests, let's think who will be out of the competition. So, there's Ding left. Mark Allen's out. So is Higgins. So, surely, who else has gone? Have we knocked anybody else out? No, it's just Ken, Mark King, etc. So, it could be anybody out of the top 16 in the final, apart from, of course, Judd, Higgins and Allen. Sorry, just Higgins and Allen. But I would guess if we got through to the final, which of course is not conclusive, Ding Junhui's a solid player. If we got through to the final, it would probably be one of the top 4, I would guess. But in 2 matches in a row now in this tournament, we've you could say we fluked it, but we played bloody well to get back from to win a 3-2. I don't think we were 2-0 down against Higgins. But goodness me, wow. The drama continues. And on Saturday, we play Ding Junhui to get a place potentially in the final of a Home Nations Series event. Crazy. Hopefully, that'll be a good preview for my exams. Hopefully, it's my exams, next week go a little bit like this. It doesn't start that well, the paper doesn't start that well, but through luck, we get back into it. And I'm quite happy for that to happen. But I've been TIJ Gaming. I hope you've enjoyed another marathon today. Another bonkers video, probably 60 minutes plus. But, as always, thank you very much for watching and for your support. I'll be back on Saturday with the semi-final of the Northern Ireland Open. Thank you very much for watching and for your constant support. And I will see you guys for the next one. Goodbye for now.